Hi, welcome back to the workshop for episode 18 of the ES335 build, and in this episode we're finally going to get those binding channels routed. Okay, so in the last episode we made our little slidey routery jig thing, and my new cutter has turned up, so I need to swap the bearing on that into the smaller ones that will make it into my binding cutter. But now we need to make the other half of this, which is the little cradle that the body will sit in when I'm routing it. So we'll get that out of the way. And what I'm going to use is another piece of the 3/4 inch that's left over from making the jig. Now I've seen these made with adjustable fittings on that can be adjusted to fit the particular body you're working with. However, those are designed for acoustic guitars, which are of course much thicker than an ES335. So I don't think I've got the scope to make those because the fittings will just stick up too high and I won't be able to use the router properly. So I'm going to have to think of something else. Now, one thought I had was that I could actually hollow out the middle of this section of wood so that the body would sit flat in it and just rest on the kind of outer rim. And while that is one way to do it, I'm not actually going to do it that way. What I am going to do is I'm going to cut this out so it's slightly bigger than my template, and then I'm going to cut some wedges that I can place around the body so it will hold it in the correct position, and then I can either glue those wedges in place or maybe screw them or something. Having done that, I might then also need to put some little kind of cleats on in various places just to stop the body moving, so I can move the jig and the body as one unit. I'll admit I'm going to be making this up a little bit as I go along, but isn't that how all the best things are made? So first off, I just want to mark a line around this, kind of about 1/2 inch or so outside of the actual line of the body. I don't think it's really important what that dimension is, as long as it's not too much. So it means that I can get this under the router jig and it's not going to foul against the back of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil, and I'm just going to take one of these like penny washers. And I'm just going to place the washer against the edge of the body, put the pencil in the hole and run it round. And that gives me the exact outline of the body, just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to get this to the bandsaw and get it all cut out. Okay, so that's cut out nicely. We'll just rest the body on and see how that works, and then just get some idea of what we need to do to support this properly. Okay, so I've done a bit of experimenting, and I've pushed these pieces of timber under the edge of the body where it's raised from the backer board, and I've actually managed to kind of jiggle them around a little bit until I've got this so it's kind of within 1/2 millimetre of perfectly level. I don't think we need to be working to a finer tolerance than that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to mark where each one of these sits, and just mark the outline of the body against them as well. And then I'm going to carefully take the body off so they remain in position. You might be able to see on this one I've had to shim it out with a couple of little pieces of veneer just to get it absolutely spot on. And now I'm simply just going to super glue all of these into position. Okay, so with all those glued on, I'm just going to take it to the bandsaw now and trim off these that kind of go over the edge of the board. Okay, so with all those trimmed down now, next I'm going to put some masking tape over them all so I can make some little templates for the little blocks of wood that will hold the body in place. When we're routing it. So I'm just going to check now that that hasn't moved anything out of level before we do anything else. And that's fine. It is also worth bearing in mind that this is a hand carved top, so there could be some inconsistency in thickness around the rim. I think it is generally pretty close to where it needs to be, but that could be the situation. But I think we're kind of in the ballpark of where we need to be. So now I can just draw around the body onto the masking tape. And we can start making the little support chocks. Okay, back to the bandsaw. Okay, so that's all those little pieces cut. So now I'm going to reposition the body and just stick these into the appropriate positions. Okay, so I think this has worked out really nicely, and we're pretty much ready to go. But the problem I've got is I've just spent the last hour searching for my ear defenders because this is going to be a noisy job and I don't want to ruin my hearing, and I just can't find them anywhere, which is a bit of a shame. And because I've spent an hour looking for them, it means it's getting quite late at night now, and I don't want to kind of subject the neighbours to this amount of routing and noise this late in the evening. So I'm gonna have to call it a night now. I'm gonna have to call in the DIY shop on the way back from work tomorrow and pick up a set of ear defenders, and then we can get this sorted. Right, back in a bit. Okay, so I've got some new ear defenders. The router jig's all finished. The sled's all complete, so there really is no reason now for me to put this off any longer. Probably much as I'd like to. So I'm just going to get this fired up now and start to work my way around and see how the jig does. Okay, so these ear defenders are really good. Much better than the old ones, but more importantly, this has actually worked a treat. I'll bring you in for a couple of closer shots in a second, but it's cut a very nice clean line all the way around. No tear out, no incidents. There might be a couple of places where I'll just have to do a little bit of sanding just to tidy it up, but that's the top done and it's fine. I'm really happy about that. And as you can see, it's cut that really nicely. There's a little bit of scorching on this bottom edge, but that's nothing to be worried about. So very happy with the way this has gone. So next up, just need to get this turned over in the jig, make sure it's set up properly on the other side, and then we can route the back. And as you can see here, there is a tiny little bit of tidying up work to do. And you might also notice that the bearing from the cutter has kind of left a little bit of an impression on the sides, and that's going to need a little bit of repair work. Normally with something like that, I'd steam it out with a hot iron. I'm not sure that I want to do that on the thin ribs of this guitar, but I'll just have a look and see how it goes. Okay, and there we have some pretty good binding channels cut, and thankfully without any disaster. So this is all ready for gluing the binding in now, but I'm going to leave that till the next episode. I really hope you found this useful. If so, drop me a like, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.